First of all, I want to say I don't believe in judging people from the past by today's standards. But I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate, seeing as we've all seen what's going on today with the removal of statues from the past. Now, as you can see by the title, this video is going to be about Mount Rushmore. And I just want to give a little bit of the history that nobody seems to want to say about these four presidents. Starting with Theodore Roosevelt. Now, we all know the mainstream history story behind this president. But if you delve a little bit behind it, there are some facts that would, in my view, lead this social justice warrior society that we seem to live in to have a little bit of a second look if you are going to be truly judging people by their past. Now, you know the main facts about him, so I'm just going to go into some of the more obscure facts. Now, first of all, he actually water tortured 160 Filipinos. Now, out of those 160, only 26 survived. He called it the water cure. Now, we all know the backlash certain presidents have got from this today, but nobody seems to actually want to acknowledge that this has been a problem for many centuries, and it isn't something that the modern peoples have actually made. Now, there's a few more things about him, but we'll try and keep this video as short as possible. The one thing I did find, in a message to Congress, he stated, every coloured man should realise that the worst enemy of his race is the Negro criminal, especially the black criminal who rapes, which is the worst, his words, the worst crime that can be committed against the whole world. Now, he also seemed to be a lot more happy in war than he did peace. He was an imperialist, and he was the one who conquered the Philippines from Spain. And also, he tended to put his own glory before the lives of his men. Now, as I said, I don't judge people from the past, but if you want to play devil's advocate, to me that would mean that you need to take him off Mount Rushmore. Now, there's other person that's on, one of the other people that's on this mount is Thomas Jefferson. Now, Thomas Jefferson was actually one of the main advocates of the genocide against the Indians, the Native Americans, to make space for white-only settlements. And he owned and traded in slaves to work on his plantations. Again, if you want to play devil's advocate, social justice warriors need to take him off Mount Rushmore. George Washington, plain and simple for this one, the guy owned over 100 slaves. A lot more than Winston Churchill is, and apparently today everyone says that he's a racist. Now, the hardest one to look into on this one has been Abraham Lincoln, because the history itself has been written to say that he was the one who wanted to abolish slavery. He was a good man and he just wanted everything to be perfect. Not so much. Within the first year of the American Civil War, he stated that it was not a war to abolish slavery. In fact, after the peace, he said that there is no place for free blacks in America, and that repatriation in Africa was the only solution to the dilemma which emancipation would soon pose for both races. Now, as I said before, I do not judge people from what happened in the past. The political and social status was so vastly different on a whole that it is impossible to judge these people by today's standards. I believe that the good they did truly outweighs the bad things about them. I wanted to put this video out there just to show that if you really want to play this dangerous game that we're all playing at the moment, where anything anybody did that was bad in the past needs to be censored, well, you need to rethink your Mount Rushmore. In fact, the only presidents that would probably apply to Mount Rushmore with these new rules that the world seems to be pushing on everyone wouldn't start until JFK. It really wouldn't. The reason I'm putting this video out there is not to sort of get a bandwagon down to destroy Mount Rushmore. Look, it's your mountain, it's the people who made your country. Fine. Absolutely fine. What I'm doing is, as I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. Do not judge the past by today's standards. If we do, everything with our civilization in the West would have to be cancelled. You'd have to censor everything, you wouldn't be able to teach anything about it, and those who deny history are doomed to repeat it.